Hey friends, in this video I will show you my favorite study method, active recall, that will help you to study better and more efficiently. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Maxi and here I do study tips and career tips videos as well as tech videos to improve your life as a student. So let's get into it and I'll talk about what this method is, then why it is actually useful, and then at the end also how to then use it for yourself for your studying. So what is this study method of active recall? Active recall just means that you ask yourself questions about the topic you're studying and then you try to answer those. This might sound pretty easy, and it also is pretty easy and also very effective. So this method is very useful or even powerful because when our brain tries to answer one of those questions, it is a lot more likely to remember the stuff that would have answered this question. So this might sound pretty abstract, but at this point our brain is pretty similar to our muscles. And as most of us know, our muscles do only grow when we push them to their limits. It's exactly the same for our brain. By having a look at these questions and not being able to answer them, we push our brain to its limits because it's limited in what it can answer of those questions. And because of that, the brain is a lot more likely to remember the stuff that would have answered the question to prevent the same limits in the next repetition. So the brain wants to prevent getting limited because of the same questions the next time. So because of that, we are a lot more likely to remember the stuff we've just learned or just studied. And I'll also link some articles and studies down in the description if you want to look for some scientific evidence and also, or even want to go a bit deeper on this topic, you can definitely check those out. So now you know what this method is and you also know why it is so useful. But then you probably also want to use it, and using it is actually pretty easy. And I'll give you an example. You might, for example, have written down the capital cities of all European countries in your class. And then instead of just reading through the list and trying to remember all the capitals, you just ask yourself some questions about that. You, for example, ask yourself the question, what is the capital of Sweden? And then if you look at this question and you do not know the capital of Sweden, and then have a look at the capital of Sweden, which is of course Stockholm, then your brain is a lot more likely to remember the capital of Sweden than by just looking at the list and seeing Sweden and Stockholm like in the table, for example, beside each other or next to each other. For actually using those questions, you could, for example, use flashcards with apps like Anki or Quizlet, or you can use the toggle feature of Notion, which is also very great for active recall, but I'll do a separate video about that anytime soon. So right now you should have the right study method to study for your upcoming exams a lot better and also more efficiently, as your brain will remember stuff a lot faster by using active recall. If you found this video interesting, you might also want to check out my video about the retrospective revision timetable as your studying timetable that can be combined with active recall in a great way. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel to not miss out on future videos. See you in the next one.